All right, so welcome to the first of many Tokyo Ria after shows. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Rudd. This is...
I'm Zach Klapperich.
And yes, hopefully you have already watched the episode, because if you haven't...
Honestly, you're not going to get the same experience. We're going to talk about cool shit, but the show is so much better than us. Like,
it is.
It's so good.
It's better.
You just got to watch it.
It's better than everyone's life.
Yeah, you'd be missing out if you don't go and watch.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul, watch everything, read it if you need to, catch up, be as caught up as you can, because we're going to be diving into literally everything that I've read, because he's ahead of me.
Yeah, no, it's Tokyo Ghoul. It's incredible. There's so much to read, so much to know. It is a huge, massive universe. If you appreciate world building, this show will do that for you, because it's built a beautiful, gigantic, like, it's a philosopher's dream world, because everything is just this internal, everyone's just struggling internally over something philosophical, and it's incredible. There's something beautiful in every page, and you should read it and watch it and be involved in it.
I wholeheartedly agree. One of the main reasons that I enjoy it is because I think Kaneki is one of the more tragic heroes in storytelling, and I know that's a high bar, but like, at least when it comes to like anime, there's my top two are Itachi and Kaneki, because they just like, they are two people that have faced so much adversity and are still like, and you know, depending on what point in the story, at least for Tokyo Ghoul you're at, still have a positive outlook and a purpose of, you know, what they do. They don't crumble underneath everything that has happened to them. They take it in strides and do what they can to survive. It's
something real too. There's one thing that Shuei Yasuda does really well is also, note, disclaimer, I will butcher every single Japanese word and name, and he will correct me a lot. Point being, the author and creator of Tokyo Ghoul is incredible, and one thing that I appreciate about Kaneki, the main character, is not just that he is a tragically broken and destroyed character who still gets to stay positive, but either way, what I was getting at is, point being, one thing that's amazing about the show is the characters are beautiful characters, and they're heroic in many ways, but also they all are broken, and they do bad things, and they make mistakes.
But they do bad things for good reasons.
Well, no, I'm mean, like, they make mistakes. Like, people are hurt because they make the wrong decision. Mm-hmm. One thing that I despise is a heroic character that's perfect. There's nothing worse and more lazily written than a character that does everything right. And, like, I want people to bleed when a main character does something wrong. You should hurt. You should repent for your sins in whatever way that is. Mm-hmm. Be it you get murdered, someone else gets murdered, or something happens to the world you live in. If you mess up in a world where you are a crux of it, it should have effects. And in Tokyo Ghoul, that happens a lot. People are hurt because of these characters' decisions and how they make mistakes.
What did you think? Well, we're, just so you guys know, we are covering episodes 1 and 2 because we did not do last week because we both had conflicts.
Indeed. So just generally, before we get into specifics, my general thought, I really, really like the movement of what they're doing with the show. For anyone that hasn't watched it, there's 2 other seasons. And there's a lot of debate over like which is better, which is not. One followed the story better, one didn't. And there's technical things we get into later about that. But what they're doing now is they've really cleaned it up, focused in on what matters. And I thought they were both beautiful episodes that really brought you back into the story.
Yes, the intro on the first episode was amazing. It almost made it so that if you've never seen the other episodes, you can watch this, but you will be, don't let that fool you, because you will be very confused on what's happening from the get-go, at least at the end of episode 1.
If you haven't watched or read any of this, and you start and you feel like you don't know what's going on, I have now read, so all the volumes you so 14, the 3, and then I guess where I'm at now is another about 10 volumes. So I've read almost 25 volumes of this manga, and it is... It's fucking nuts. Like, I know like 2 things, like, for sure. And that's it. Like, I know like 2 things. I know generally how ghouls work, and I know the people that have died. Besides that, I'm very confused all the time. Like, all the freaking time.
I would say part of the show in general is just like being like, what's going on? And then episodes, even seasons later, series later, you're like, oh,
yeah,
I get
this
it.
show will drop a bombshell on you, and you won't know why for a season. It's crazy, like it's so nuts, but it's very beautiful. The mystery does keep people in. It is really amazing, and you are right. Like, you do get brought back into the first episode. They do it well.
Yeah,
but damn. Point being, I would give out of the first 2 episodes, I give it a 9 out of 10 right now. My only qualms are some things with pacing, and then I think I have some issues with the art style. I think the Kaganes need to look cooler like they did in last seasons. But yeah, so that's my general take, and we'll get into specifics. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to follow suit and give it a 9 out of 10. There's a few things that I'm a little bit more, you being the film guy, you're a little bit more attentive to certain things like that. I'm more attentive to like the emotions, and there's only a couple things that I disagreed with on choices that they made of when to introduce things. But other than that, you know, I'm as hooked as I've been from the beginning when I saw this forever ago. So I'm happy that it's back. I'm happy. I knew that after the live action movie came out, that I was hoping they would return to the series, and they did, and so that's just that's what we need.
One thing that there's a lot of stuff that they're struggling to. There's just so much information in the manga. They're struggling to put some in, but like just from a general point of view, like they're following it very closely. Like there's a lot of the lines and actions that happen are spot on, like literally line for line from the manga, which is really awesome. It's nice to see that there's like a purity to that, and that like. I remember that, and I know that, and like I thank you for showing me that animated. Like it's a gift for us that read it to be able to see it live, and so it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. No, I'm stoked about it. As far as characters go, for I guess the series in general so far, because we just got introduced to a lot of new characters and old characters. Some that you well. If you've watched both the episodes, you now know that the new character is an old character, actually. But there has been or was some confusion with that. With at least for me, when I first started reading it, I was confused for the first chapters or so of what was going on.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, this is like I'm not going to spoil a bunch of stuff, but this season starts after a 2-year time gap after the end of last season. And it's the exact same thing in the manga. It follows the manga exactly like that. There's a huge event that in the show was a little different. The end of season 2 on TV was a little different than the end of the manga, but that's because the manga wasn't done when they finished the show, so they didn't really know what to do. But they pick up 2 years later, and everything's shaken up. Like every character that you knew has moved on in a very strange direction. And the main character from the past and this new main character from this one, it's weirdly up in the air as to what's going on, but they played it well. My question for you, what were like on the show, anime only, what were like the breakout cool characters? Like design-wise, the action-wise, everything?
In unpopular opinion is going to be not Urei.
The tall blonde goofball. At the beginning, I feel like they really captured his essence as a as he is in the when he comes in, you know exactly who he is. But I'm very excited to see his character develop to what it's supposed to be, because even in the episode 2, he's put into a position that you would not put someone like that into, and I feel like that's what Heisei is doing. Is like having him step up to the plate and be I wish
leader.
They had done. So this is a manga thing that we'll get into some slight changes, but there's this shot where Shirazu, there we go. So Shirazu freaks out in the manga, and he's like, "Oh shit, I have to be the leader!" And Saiko's asleep, and he runs back and kicks in her door and carries the sleeping girl all the way to a meeting. And it's kind of adorable because you're like, I know you're trying to be the leader, but you kind of acting like a goofball. And I thought that was really, really wonderful. I hope they play that. That they're bouncing around scenes.
We actually saw Saiko way earlier in the show than we did in the manga. Like she was just in a room.
They're time skipping a lot because we did see her early in the manga, but then it was either way. Point being. So wait, you did or didn't like him?
Oh, I think he's great. I love him. I love him in the manga because I feel like it's kind of strange. It's definitely we all I feel like I'm also that kind of that person. Maybe I relate where it's where I don't take the responsibility or the leadership position until I'm thrusted into it, and then I'm like, oh, let me figure this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like rooting for him in that sense, but I also really I just like the way that the art's for him that translated to manga. I mean, he's from manga to the anime. He's one of my favorite characters in that right now. Obviously, Heisei / Kaneki is gonna always be my favorite. Like, we have the old characters, but I think I just wanted to touch on the new ones where Shirazu, I'm a huge fan because he's this guy who just like he signed up for the program as like a get money quick scheme.
Yeah.
And it's very much turning into I feel like he's, I hope through the anime as well as the manga, he gets more invested into like the importance of like what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How about you?
With character-wise people I liked, I'm super pumped about how they're gonna play the guy with the patch, Kojima.
Oh,
the dude who
the
looks
guy
like
from Germany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not from Germany.
No,
he's got the fat head and the scar.
I thought he was from Germany.
No, there's a different character.
Oh, no, that's a second Washu. That's right.
Second Washu. And Kanae, who is after Tsukiyama later. That's she is a tank later on. Oh, it's so awesome. Point being, so there's a really sort of devilish looking character who's got his like eye patch, and apparently he was in a vicious battle, and he looks like a psychopath, and he should be because he is a psychopath. And you will learn more about that later if they do it correctly. But I liked what they did with him, and Furuta is behind him. And Furuta, if they do that character well, will turn into a super cool character. I liked that. And then for me, exactly the opposite, the Yude. I love his character design. Love his character. And I'm a bit jaded, and I will admit this openly. I'm jaded. I know more. I've read farther into the manga than there is in the American markets. I wish there were. And to our distributor, make it faster so I will buy them. I will buy them, but I can't buy them now, and I have to find them, and I hate that.
Well, it's just like, it's kind of frustrating because like they're catching up really quick because they go to they're going to November 11th. They're already starting on November 11th, which is the end of Volume 3. Yeah. Which is the beginning of the end of Volume 3. So they're skipping over a lot that happens, and a lot of it is like details of things that if you're into it like us, you appreciate, but if you're like just, I feel like it's very tailored for like the anime setting where it's just like it's a lot of bulk of like people who do this, who do that, and it's just like we haven't even seen Shizuya yet.
Yeah.
Juzo.
Yeah, Juzo. But Juzo comes in, I think the first time you see it was when they have the meeting for the auction raid in the manga, anyway.
I thought they met before that because they were taking on the Nutcracker together, I thought.
Oh, they do take on the Nutcracker. Yeah, they're going to skip that whole bit too with the Nutcracker, because the Nutcracker's...
She was at the end of the other thing.
Oh, it's the auction.
She was at the end. Yeah, she was there.
But point being, there's that. Also, the characters that I struggle with, I want Mato to be better.
She was so good in season 1 and 2, and then even in the manga and in the anime, for me at least so far where I'm at, she's kind of flat.
She is, and I was hoping the anime would boost her up because she had, especially with her relation with Amon, and her like connection with everything. Like she really is like she could be so awesome, and this is also in the manga. Like she is a flat character now, and that upsets me because I think there's a lot of like cool depth in her.
Well, she has a lot. If you think about like what she's went through, she's lost her mother due to ghouls. She's lost her father due to ghouls. She lost her partner due to ghouls. Yeah. And now she's she's mentoring.
And she designed the new Quinque. Yeah. Like she designed these new forms of ghouls. Yeah. Which is awesome.
The Quinks, yeah. And so, but it's just like there's so much depth to what she's going through for like and the water is just still flat on top.
She's so boring. She got like that one punch in the first episode. And it's like, oh, it's a Mato punch.
Mato punch.
Like, who the fuck are you? Just Hadouken somebody?
Okay, Saitama.
Yeah, she got. Any characters you didn't like besides Mato or anything that? Like,
no, I still like Mato because like.
No, I dislike. I want more. That's what I was getting at.
You know, Urei, I like him because I understand the purpose that he serves. But like it's one of those things like the classic example that I go to is Jim Carrey in Series of Unfortunate Events. Mm-hmm. So good at playing a bad guy, you hate him. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that for me. He's not a bad guy, but it's just like he's so good at that character is so good at what he is, where it's just like it bothers me, but it bothers me in the way that it's supposed to.
It does, and I will. I'm not going to give any spoilers, and I'm going to do everything I can to never do this. But like, keep your eye on Ure because he's one of the most beautifully written characters I've read in a long time in storytelling. Okay. And you see there's a tremendous amount of growth, and everything that he's doing now has a purpose, like everything, and it's incredible. And he's still like, I don't know if he's good or bad still, but what happens with him is beautiful. And I think, but just on like aesthetically, I think he looks awesome, and I love they do like the inner monologues.
Oh, that was so well done.
They do. I was worried that they wouldn't do it well
because like I thought they were just gonna like leave it out because that's a lot of his character.
Yeah,
it's just like here I'm gonna say half of what I think, and then the rest of it.
For in the manga when you read it, there's always like he has a character bubble, and then right beside his character bubble is like a character bubble in parentheses, and it's him like what he actually thinks.
Like inner monologue.
He'll shake your hand and say hi, but in his head he's like, I really fucking hope you're dead today. Just so you know. And
he did that at the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He was like, yeah, I actually hope you die.
It was like he said, it's like, oh yeah, take care of yourself and go die.
Or don't get in too deep and die.
He was like I hope you get in deep and die.
Yeah. All right. So just generally in the episode, like, what were the cool things, the standouts that you really liked, like the cool action events, plot events?
I mean, honestly, like oh wait, no, I was gonna say one thing and I said another. And you know which one it is. When I didn't think it was gonna happen so fast, it happened too fast. When the first meeting of Toka and Kaneki. First of all, when you walk in the door and then you see Yomo standing there, I'm starting to like freeze up, and I'm getting goosebumps and stuff because like I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then when he meets Toka, and I'm sitting here, and it just like, and like I don't know, like for me personally, this is like it shows like the interaction that they have. Like, you can tell, like, at least in the anime for sure, you can tell that Toka is so happy to see that Kaneki made it.
I'm glad they did. That's the best thing is that they even said, because they went harder in the show than they did in the manga.
Yes.
But he said she's smiling and she's sad, but she's like, you can tell she's kind of sad, but something's good. Like, she's happy.
Yeah.
And you can see it.
That's it.
Because Toka's always wanting to punch someone. She's such an angry child. But in this, like, it was really beautiful.
Because she's what? She's 20 now? 21?
Yeah, she was just a little bit younger than...
Yeah, she was just going into college.
Yeah, she was going into college after his second year.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's 2 years younger than him. And it was really beautiful. The music they played was beautiful. It was, like, Kaneke's a bit of a bitch, because he's sitting there, like, he doesn't know why he's crying, just crying in front of everyone, and he doesn't even understand why, and he just lets him roll. He didn't even try.
Well, because, like, I mean, but I think it's the thing is, like, when you're crying, it's like, you know you're crying, but if you don't know you're crying, it's just like, you're like, wait, what? And if you're just, like, being distracted by... as I quote, the prettiest girl he's ever seen.
Yeah. No, it was beautiful. It was a really, really beautiful moment. And it's funny that, like, you're like, what's the best thing about this show about fucking ghouls who rip people's bodies apart? You're like,
the love story.
The two main characters saw each other and they cry in the coffee shop. Like, it was really beautiful. Like, that's the best.
No, but like but also like so it's like you understand that, and then also like the fact that he's crying and doesn't know it shows you that like it affirms what you think about how Kaneki feels about her. And so it's like all those questions that you may have had about the relationship in the first 2 seasons are answered in that moment to an extent where it's like where she's relieved and joyful as she can be to see that. And then you can tell that the Kaneki, not Hase, but Kaneki, the true person who he is.
I will say about that moment, one thing that I just realized that might suck. They put so much into that. Originally, I thought they're going to use it to forward that movement. They might be giving you that so that they can take her away.
So they can rip my heart out.
So they can rip your heart out and eat it like a ghoul. But no, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they might have given us that fan moment. Mm-hmm. So that they can be like, all right, now you won't see him again for 7 episodes. Yeah. Because there's not much of Yomo.
Well, no, because we don't see her or Yomo in the manga after that moment.
It's not till the Rue Island arc, and you're not even at the fucking Rue Island mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so that's kind of sad. But for me, Not the weepy moments. I really like that little improv Kaneki and Arima fight.
My god!
It just kind of shows their relationship really well. I'm a huge Arima fan. I do think he's not getting as much love right now as he should in this show.
He was barely in season 1. He was also barely in the manga.
Yeah, no, he only shows up in like the last bits. He was more in the show than he was in the manga. Mm-hmm. The point being that he's a badass dude, and he has an incredibly complex and interesting relationship with Kaneki, who gets even more complex the farther you go along, to the point where I want to pull my fucking eyes out sometimes when I'm reading the manga, because I don't understand exactly how they're like wising each other up. But that little improv fight was a great way to show how they interact with each other. Like, because they're having, like, he's just saying, tell me about the mission, and at the same time, he's like, also, I'm going to kill you with this pin. So, like, keep talking, focus, look in my eyes.
It's like, do two things at once. Do two things at once.
Exactly. Tell me about things, hear what I say, dodge my fists, look at them, do a dance. Like, and that shows exactly how the relationship is, because he's all, at the same time, like, father, mentor, and mortal enemy. Like, all at the same time. Because, like, they're the big bads of the show. Mm-hmm. And until later on, like, unless something wild changes, like, Arima's the baddest dude in the show, period. Like, he can kill fucking anybody. He is the undefeated investigator. Mm-hmm. And now, under his wing... tutelage. Is this, like, Ghoul, who is, like, the prodigal child... but has been tricked into thinking someone else, and so it's like, holy shit, there's so much.
Isn't that the cruelest trick of all?
It is dark. That's the tragedy is real. You were 100% right. It's a very tragic.
Like
thing.
When you think about it, it's like he lost his father at a young age, and he loses his mother at a young age, and then he loses his entire family while at the same time losing himself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then now he's another tragic character who doesn't know who he is, who's trying to find himself, but is also scared of who that person is.
Yeah. It'd be like if at the end of fucking Gladiator, like Russell Crowe gets knocked out, and now he has to be the manservant of Joaquin Phoenix as Claudius, or whatever his name is, as his like manservant, and because he has amnesia now. That'd be so fucked. And that's like the most tragic thing in the fucking world is that, Kaneki's now having to hunt down his own kind, the people he loves.
His friends and his family.
Yeah, literally.
Like Nishio.
Yeah.
Nishio Senpai was,
exactly.
This like the beginning of this episode was just like, did you like how Nishio, when he was like he was quoting Kaneki, he's like you're going dead. Yeah. Remember, like, it was season 1, he was like die.
Yeah. When he freaks out for the first time, he's like God. Oh man, that was awesome.
What is this, Shine? I think it's Shine.
Yeah. I do wish that fight I wanted to see a little bit more. Like, I can't wait for the action to get crazy in the show, because I do want to see how they do bigger battles. And there's so many interesting new like all kinds of different Kakahos and all these people, and you'll see this shit you see, like there's a Tri-Blades girl coming up. You're gonna get to see. We can
talk, because this happened in the manga, so we can talk about it.
I'm not. There's no predict like. This is not a spoiler. There's some crazy ass fucking ghouls with crazy ass Kagane, and like their Kakahos are batshit. Like, there's so many crazy new things, and the new Quinke that are gonna come out that you're gonna see. I want to see the cool stuff they're doing, especially even once at the auction raid, when Mado, the best things that she's done is when she starts using the double things. She has the whip and the stinger thing. She's like a Ukaku and a Rinkaku.
Those are both. Are they Hiname's parents?
I think she has. She has
both.
She rocks both of them at the same time.
Yeah, which is really funny because Hiname is also at the auction.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And it's cool. There's just so much, and there's so much cool stuff they can do. And then just there's so much cool shit.
Yeah, there's a lot that we can that we're gonna get into. Yeah. But we could talk about this for probably hours.
Yeah.
But
was there anything you didn't specifically like? In the 2 episodes, like, what got you?
I'm gonna go back to the Toka moment where Urei is having the operation in the middle of that moment. You know what I mean? And it kind of like it pulled me out of it because I was so into it. I was able to jump back in, but I feel like it's like they could have built, maybe it was a way they were trying to build tension with it, but like what it did, it was just like I felt like there's a way they could have done it better without interjecting that. Maybe have that after that moment, and it is way phasing out of the
from
episode.
a writer's standpoint, they're doing it. That was an intentional move, I'm sure, because you can tell what they're doing is much more so than from the manga. They're shaping Yurei into the enemy. They're intentionally, like, they made that really intense talk where he slapped him in the face. He's like, "Did you have to slap me in the face?" And then when he called him a ghoul, and then he made the joke about devouring him, and then when you have this beautiful moment for Heise/Kaneki, and then suddenly, like, oh wait, who's fucking up this moment? That's who it is. So they're intentionally planting this seed. They wedged it into something you love, which is exactly what they're going to do.
So they used it as a device mechanism.
Yeah, it was a writing
dividing mechanism.
They specifically did that. That was an artistic move.
I mean, I still disagree with it because I wanted that moment.
The writers did it to you. They attacked you with their writing, and that's a writing thing. Is that it's very. I try to be a writer.
We all try our best.
And everything, like, one of the things you learn when you're writing really powerful vendettas or enemies or anything like that is don't just tell them they're the enemy. Just have them be there at the worst time. Like, have them hurt you quietly, and that pain is so much worse, and it embeds in you. And the fact that that's your worst moment means he's embedded in you. That, like, why is this happening? And you'll remember.
I already didn't like him.
I know. It's good. I like him, and now he's framing up. He's gonna be gnarly.
Framing down?
Framing up.
What did you not like about it?
With me is like the art style. To me, I feel like it's been 5 years since the last show, and there's a couple things that make me feel like it's taken a step down. There's a couple things I've noticed, and like their movements are a bit more clunky, and the fighting is cooler. I will say they've upgraded how they fight. When I say cooler, I mean they've tried to make fighting more complex.
Okay.
They made it more anime.
Yeah, right.
Point being, that was the main thing. That was my biggest issue. I think the timescale, I think they're gonna pull, like, they're just gonna keeping chunks where they want from the first 3 volumes, pretty much, like up until the auction raid for probably like 5 episodes.
So is that gonna be like mid-season finale? You think auction raid, or do you think? Okay, so that's gonna be mid-season finale. So you think you think it's gonna happen by like end of episode 6?
Yes.
Because I think it's going to be 12 episodes.
Do we know? Have they not announced?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I probably should. I
think the natural progression is, so there's 2 main arcs that we could get to. There's the auction arc and the Rue Island arc. And those 2 things, I think it's going to be mid-season will be the auction arc. And also, because the auction arc can last 4 episodes. Like, so much shit happens in auction arc because there's 3 battles going on at the same time in the auction arc. There's a lot, and even just the Juzo and Madam stuff will be huge. And then there'll be
my god, that stuff they could probably do a whole side. That's a whole minimum ridiculous. 2 episodes, I think.
Exactly.
Like, you could spend 2 episodes on that.
So there's all kinds of stuff. Like, so my sort of future thoughts on this show is that they're gonna end this season with what you'll find what's gonna come to be the Rue Island arc. And there's so much going on. I love what I just saw. I love what the direction they're taking it in.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are some things you want in the future?
I want to see what happens with like the Quinxes, and I want to see because I think it's gonna end up where Heisei becomes Kaneki again, and then he flips over to the other side, or like he's back in the middle again or whatever, and I want to see what happens to the Quinxes there, because they are like Kaneki in the first episode. They're riding the line between the ghoul and the human world, and they're the only ones who understand both, like Mr. Yoshimura said to Kaneki about it. And so
if anyone's going to bridge the world, it's going to be them. Anyone's going to bring down the birdcage.
But it's just like, but I don't think it's going to be a thing. But future predictions, I think Uta is going to be he's like not like the leader of everything that has happened, but he is going to he is going to be the master architect of all these events that are going on. Like, him
is definitely gonna have a bigger purpose. There's no way he can't have a bigger purpose.
Yeah, no, he's playing everybody. He's playing the CCG. He's playing the Ogiri tree. He's playing Kaneki. He's playing Toka. He's playing
he's
everybody.
Secretly like much more powerful than anyone thinks. Like,
I don't even think I think we've seen maybe the tip of the iceberg of how
there's so much cool shit. I hope that's where we're going, because I want to see a lot of that, and I want him to be more involved. I really want I want them to properly use Arima and make his character like more in depth. So Arima's character is he's basically just like the show badass, but he does not given a lot of development in the show. And I want the show, and my prediction actually, I think that they are going to really play into the like father mentor kind of thing if they give enough time to him in this. Like he's had decent time in both episodes.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to play into that, and I hope they do. And I hope one of my biggest things is that the same thing with the Quinks. I hope they don't invalue like their character building, because all of them have awesome arcs, and like
Toka is going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, there's just so much going on, but that's
not Toka, Toru.
Yeah, absolutely. Toru's there's oh my god, there's so much cool stuff. But yeah, so that's all I really want for the future, because I know a lot, of course, like what's going to happen generally, but like this show looks like it's going to kill it. The show looks like they're going to really do a fabulous adaptation.
I wanted to breathe the life back into the fandom that it had, 5-6 years ago when season 1 and season 2 happened, because there were so many people were so excited, and that has carried over. Like there's still people who have enjoyed it, but it's lost its momentum because of how long it's taken for the anime to happen. Yeah. It's like it doesn't matter which way you look at it. Anime is the preferred medium for this show. Yeah. It's like the manga continued and was still coming out, but it's just like it wasn't as popular like at the expos and stuff that I was going at.
Yeah, the show gave it so much life because it was just so beautifully done, and they did such a good job that they brought in such a huge fan base. I came in late to the game. I didn't watch Tokyo Ghoul till fairly recently, and I have developed a sickening obsession. Like I think about it every day. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I'm super pleased. I
mean, the live action movie I think that they put out last summer hopefully drew in an audience that normally wouldn't have checked it out, because it was out in theaters in Japan and stuff like that, and so hopefully that has brought in an audience. But I want it to be like, I mean, these are high hopes, but I would love for it to be like the next like Naruto, or like Ghost in the Shell, something like
something iconic.
Yeah, something iconic, because I really do believe that what Suyashida is doing with the characters, he does things that you just like would never like, that a lot of people like. You would have never taken Naruto, like had repeated bad thing after bad thing after bad thing happen to him, and then stab him in the head and forget who he was and start over again. Yeah, never.
Yeah, no. That's what I mean. One of the reasons I love the show is it's vicious. It is. It's dark, and they don't take liberties. Like there's no like Deus Machina to save the day all the time. Like if someone's gonna die, they die, and they die horribly, and you have to watch it. It's in your face. It's crazy. But yeah, I could sit here and just preach about it all day. But so generally, all around, just wrapped back around to the whole thing, like 9 out of 10 for sure. For the 2 episodes, I am super pumped about next week.
I mean, they're jumping right into the bulk of it. We're looking at November 11th. Remember November 11th. But no, I'm super stoked. Zach, where can people find you, and what do you have going on in your, the next week or so, or anything you want to share?
Well, you can find me. I'm not super big on social media, but my Instagram is zclap1, ZKLAPP1, and I am a screenwriter and a movie maker and a bartender most of the time, because no one's really a screenwriter to get famous.
Everyone's a bartender until they're a screenwriter.
Yeah, everyone's broke and working at a bar until you're famous. But you can look up the website Seize and Deliver. I work on a web series about Star Wars bounty hunters, and I'm directing an episode tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. Well, actually for the next 3 days. But yeah, and so that'll be in the future, but you can go on. We have tons of information on there about our bounty hunters, about our characters, about our stuff. It's super cool. And then in the future, hopefully I'll be able to show you all kinds of cool stuff. My movie right now called Nona is touring the festivals. It's a really incredible movie, and I was the art director for it. And you can look that up. The Instagram for Nona is, it's just Nona. It's amazing. But yeah, look that up, Google it. It's awesome. And that's pretty much all that's interesting in my life right now.
Oh yeah. Very cool. You guys can find me at the Dan Rudd, Twitter, Instagram, TheDanRudd. What I've got working on, just filmed a acoustic video for my band Boy Hero today. That should be out hopefully next week. And then just doing the music thing, doing the stuff, writing. You know, because everyone's a bartender until they're a writer.
There's a lot of talented people out there, and we try to be two of those.
Trying really hard. But yeah, anything else? Are you in?
That's about it. Just found a new band called Parrish. Just look it up. All her stuff is She Is Parrish on all her tags. It's pretty amazing.
Nice. I'm trying to think of something that I've stumbled upon. I'm still really deep into like Critical Role and D&D right now. So if you guys haven't watched Critical Roles, it's actually on Geek and Sundry's Twitch Thursday nights at 7:00. It's really cool, and you can catch all the episodes on YouTube.
There's a newbie DM right here. I'm trying to join his new campaign coming up.
Yeah, so if any of you guys are watching this and don't want to play as Zach wants to, so just text me and let me know.
I play my D&D games on Sundays, but I'm always open for more. It's the best thing in the world. There's literally nothing I enjoy more than D&D.
All right. Well, thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. If you have any recommendations of what the name of this after show should be, we are very much welcome to that.
I just say Tokyo Cool.
Tokyo Cool, Tokyo Drool. Tokyo Fools. Tokyo Fools. I don't know. We've got, we can't help but rhyme, so if you got something else, let us know. But thank you for watching on Twitch. If you are tuning on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, and then comment with who's your favorite new character that is popped out onto Tokyo Ghoul Re or Season 3.
What were the standouts? What are the highlights?
Yes.
Or anything that we missed.
Yes, if we messed up on something, please let us know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe. I'm Dan. And
I'm Zach.
And we will see you guys next week.
Indeed.